Cases of the COVID-19 Delta variant continue to rise in the state of New Jersey, and with 5.7 million people vaccinated across the state, the governor continues to push for more. Joining us now is New Jersey's Governor Phil Murphy. And Governor Murphy, thanks for being with us this morning. Obviously, cases are rising here and in other places in the Northeast, too. What's the latest? What's the state of things?
Yeah, Becky, good to be with you. It's worse than it was 3 months ago, but not nearly as bad as it was in either the first or second wave. But we've got probably 1,150 people in the hospital. That's compared to a few hundred 3 months ago, but also compared to 8,270 at our peak of April last year. Overwhelmingly, these are unvaccinated individuals. So while there are some breakthrough cases, very few of them thankfully make it to the hospital. We have a very high rate of vaccination rate, I think the highest among the big American states, but we're still out there pounding away, knocking on doors in communities every single day. The number goes up slowly but surely, and we need to see that number continue to go up.
With the schools back in session, most schools for about a week now, maybe a week and a half in New Jersey, what have you seen there? And I ask because I know there are already cases in my son's school.
Yeah, I mean, there are cases here and there. We have one district that I was informed of last evening, a small district in the southern part of the state that has gone on quarantine. And we're trying to get more information as to exactly why and how that's happening. I think it's a little bit too early to assess how the opening has gone because we're only in many cases 8 or 9 days into the school year. We need several weeks, I think, under our belt, and we're obviously watching it like a hawk. Folks have to wear face coverings while they're in the school, and that's not, that doesn't bring me any joy to mandate that, but that's the right thing to do, and we'll do that until we feel like we're through this.
When you talk to people anecdotally, and again, it's early days, this is a different school year than it was last year, they think a lot of the times that when kids get them, school-age kids get this virus, it's coming from somewhere else, not the schools. Do you have any intention of bringing masking mandates back to other locations or any other sort of closures to deal with it?
Yeah, at the moment, no, and I hope it stays that way. We have a strong recommendation that if you're indoors and you're packed in with other people, in particular if you don't know what their vaccination status is, a strong recommendation to put on a mask. But I hope that we're not going to have to go back to the mandates of closures or a broader requirements. We think this is the right package of steps to take for the school settings, and obviously we're going to watch it like a hawk over the next number of weeks.
Hey, Governor, I saw 50 best places to live, and I was a little angry that it was number 50 was, I think, a place in New Jersey. New Jersey is a great place, and I understand that. And you're the governor, so we need to pay for, good things aren't cheap, cheap things aren't good. But you even acknowledge that if taxes are your main stumbling block, and this is in one of your challengers' ads, that you said, look, if taxes is your main issue, then New Jersey's not the place for you. I don't know whether that was taken out of context or what, but you kind of acknowledge you get taxed a lot if you live in New Jersey. Is that a fair thing to say, that taxes are high and you better get used to it?
Yeah, yes and no. We inherited a mess, honestly, and we've been chipping away at that. We want to be, and that was taken out of context, we want to be, Joe, and you know the state well, the good value for money state. In other words, you pay something to live here, but you get back, I think, overall, the #1 state in America to raise a family, #1 public education system in America, top handful of health systems in America, great quality of life, location second to none.
I love it, but I was leading into a question, though, to see what you think about it. You see we know now what the House Democrats are proposing. I don't know what comes out of the $3.5 trillion. But certain people would be paying almost 60% in New Jersey if this goes through. And even people that don't make $5 million are going to be well above 50%. That makes people want to leave. And are you behind this $3.5 trillion boondoggle with the tax increases that go along with it? Governor, would you vote for it if you were a Republican senator, a Democratic senator instead of a Governor?
I think the chances of my being a Republican senator are low, but
you were at Goldman Sachs.
Listen,
I don't know what happened to you.
Let me tell you what is a game changer that we need to get back on the table, and that's lifting the SALT deduction. The cap on that deduction has been crushing. I think the impact of it has been masked because of the pandemic. And it's overwhelmingly a middle-class homeowner, especially senior middle-class homeowner tax hike, which is unnecessary. It was political. It was done in the Trump administration. That, if I were in Congress, that would be the number one thing I'd be fighting for, because it crushes states like ours, and it's incredibly unfair to the middle class, especially to our seniors.